This is part 2 of the operations with integers video. When we left off part 1, we were talking about converting a subtraction problem into an addition problem so that we can use the rules of addition, because there are no specified rules for subtraction. And here we did that. We changed the subtraction into an addition, and when you do that, whenever you change a subtraction into an addition, you add the opposite, or you convert the second number into its opposite. So here I changed the operation of subtraction into an operation of addition, and then I took the second number, which was a positive 9. Remember, this 9 is positive. This minus belongs to the operation of subtraction. So this positive 9 gets converted into its opposite, which is a negative 9. Once we do this, this is now adding two integers with different signs, which we talked about over here. It's a case that's just like one of these two. So in order to solve this, you figure out, first of all, the sign of the problem. You look at the two numbers, see which one has the larger numerical value. 9, 7, the 9 is larger, which automatically means that the answer will be negative. And then you take the absolute values of the two. So we have the absolute value of 7 is 7, the absolute value of negative 9 is 9. And then you find the difference of the two absolute values. And the difference between 9 and 7 is 2. So that means that the answer is a negative 2. So whenever you have a subtraction problem, you convert it into addition and then use the rules of addition to solve the problem further. Now let's do another example. Let's say we have 4 minus a negative 3. So it's a subtraction between a positive and a negative number. Before we had a subtraction between two positive numbers, a positive 7 and a positive 9. Now we have a subtraction between a positive 4 and a negative 3. So we do the same thing. We change this particular sign, which is the subtraction sign, into an addition sign. We change the operation. But by doing this, we have to add the opposite, or convert the second number into its opposite. Well, the opposite of negative 3 is a positive 3. And that's it. We're done. We converted the subtraction into an addition, and we turned the second number into its opposite. And now we have the addition of two integers that are both positive or have the same sign, just like here. So what we're going to do, we are going to figure out what sign the answer is going to have. They're both positive, so we use whatever signs they came with, or you don't have to write the positive sign. And then we find the absolute values. The absolute value of 4 is 4. The absolute value of 3 is 3. The sum of their absolute values is 7. And thus, the answer is a positive 7, or just a 7. Now what if you have a number like this? What if you have negative 2, or a problem like this, negative 2 minus a negative 7? Here we have a subtraction between two negative numbers. So we have subtraction between negative 2 and negative 7. This may look a bit complicated because there's a lot of negative signs in here, but just use the same rules. First things first, convert the subtraction into addition so we can use our rules of addition. So we have negative 2. That doesn't change. Do not do anything with this negative 2. We're going to change the subtraction to an addition operation. And then once we do that, the second number flips to its opposite. So the opposite of negative 7 is a positive 7. And then use your rules of addition. So for example, we had a very similar problem over here. I'm sorry, it should be a positive 7. So actually that's more like one of the problems at the top here. So the opposite of negative 7 is a positive 7. So different signs. First of all, figure out what sign the answer will have. Look at the numerical values. Negative, or so just 2 and 7. The 7 is the larger numerical value, and it's positive. So the answer is going to be positive. Now, since they do have different signs, we have to take the difference of their absolute values. The absolute value of negative 2 is 2. The absolute value of 7 is 7. The difference between these two is 5. Sorry, my gray marker is dying. So the answer is positive 5, or just 5. And for the last bit, we're going to talk about multiplication and division. These have the easiest rules of the 4 operations. And the rules are as follows. If you have a positive number multiplied by another positive number, the answer is always positive. If you have a negative number multiplied by a negative number and divided as well, so this is multiplication and division, the answer is always positive. If you have a positive number, sorry, a negative number multiplied by a positive number, then the answer will be negative. So we see a pattern here. If the two integers have the same sign, the answer is always positive. If the two integers have different signs, the answer is always negative. So really that's about it for multiplication and divisions. So if they have the same sign, then the answer will always be positive. If the sign is different, then it's always negative. And this applies to both multiplication and division. I know I just did multiplication here, but it applies to both. So let's do a few examples here. Let's start with multiplication. Let's say I have a negative 6 being multiplied by a positive 5. Ask yourself this question. Same or different signs? Negative, positive. Different signs. Always negative. So the answer automatically is going to be negative. And then you just crunch your numbers. 6 times 5, well, that's 30. That's it. As simple as that. What if you have 8 times a negative 4? Same case as here. Positive times a negative. Different signs. The answer is automatically negative. And then you just crunch your numbers. 8 times 4, well, that's 32. What if you have negative 7 times a negative 3? Negative, negative, same sign. Automatically, you know the answer is going to be positive. And 7 times 3 is 21. As easy as that. And what if you have 4 times 5? Now we all know the answer to this, but the same rules work here. Positive times positive, same signs, so the answer is automatically positive, which we already knew it was, and it's a 20. But this is because the rules are followed. 4 times 5, both are positive numbers, and whenever you multiply two positive numbers, or whenever you multiply two numbers with the same sign, the answer is automatically positive. And division is the same. You take negative 12 and you divide that by a positive 6. Negative, positive, different signs. The answer is automatically negative. Crunch your numbers. 2. And if you have negative 10 divided by negative 5, look at the signs. Negative, negative, same signs. The answer is automatically positive. Crunch your numbers. 2. And that's about it. If you have any questions, see me at lunch or after school. Thank you very much.